Now, welcome to all the participants in in-house training. In the second session of this training program, the resource person of this session is Ms. Kriti Singh from Navayug Vidyalaya. She is the teacher of the biology, and she will present the session 21st century skills. So now, I would like to honor our resource person. So please honor the resource person. और अब मैं अनुरोध करूंगा कि अपने रिसोर्स पर्सन को अंग वस्त्र प्रदान करके उनका सम्मान किया जाए। So, welcome to Ms. Kriti Singh to present her marvelous presentation, 21st century skills. Please come on to the podium.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcome. A very good day to everyone. My name is Kriti Singh, as already been introduced by respected Prashant, sir. A very good day to everyone and to all the viewers. Oh, sorry.
ठीक ठीक आपका आवाज आ रही है।
So my topic, 21st century skill. At first, I would like to introduce every human being as an animal. We all know that human beings are a social animal. We are included in an animal kingdom. All the person, all the human being, but what makes us different from rest of the animal? We have special two characteristics. In fact, we have, but I would like to highlight two special characteristics that we possess, which makes us different from rest of the animal, which makes us the most advanced animal in all the animal kingdom. The first characteristics I would like to highlight, the capacity to think, the capability to think. And the second, the fingers that we have. I think most of the animals do have a finger, but can an elephant hold a pen with his forelimb? Or can a cat or a rat can hold a pen or a pencil with his forelimb? No. We have the thinking capacity, and with this part, we can make a good use of our finger. And this is what skill is all about. In Hindi, we call skill a kushalta, I think. Okay? So, I think the thinking capacity and making positive utilization of our fingers, we can go ahead, and this is what skill is all about, and this is what 21st century skill speaks of. Why 21st century? Skill we understood. Okay, why 21st century? Skill was earlier also, in the old Stone Age also, in early man days also, in fact, in medieval period also, in fact, the modern period that we speak from 1947, especially in India. Okay, so but 21st century begins from 2001 and is going to end with 2100. After that, it is going to come 22nd century skill. So with the change in the time, with the change in the circumstances, we need to cope up with it. We need to adapt. We need to be very, very flexible to bring in change in ourselves and to make best use of all the skills that we have. 21st century skill we mainly understand by being tech savvy, by being more technology friendly, by being more internet friendly. Okay, in the previous year we speak of that people were very traditional type. Their teaching method, learning method, all were very traditional. But now we are exposed to the entire world. We are sitting here in the Bhagalpur, but we can go to America with the help of internet. We can see all the historical places. We can observe all the seven wonders of the world just with one click, with the one go. We have several platforms. We have plethora of media over here. So, 21st century skill, we need to cope up with it. We need to adapt it. We need to be very, very flexible to it. So, beginning the session of the 21st century skill, I would like to ask one very general question. Very general question. And I request everyone to please answer me. What or who is the center of all the activities? Who is the center of all the activities in a society, in a nation, or in a world? Anyone who is the center of the activity, who makes the complete development of the nation, who brings the complete development of a community? Anyone, ma'am, please, sir. Science and technology. Very good. Thank you, sir. I think we the individual is the center of all these activity. All the implementation work that has to be done, we have to do it in ourselves. So we can say that this science and technology and everything will be developed and it goes hand in hand with the development of an individual. We need to work on ourselves. We need to have that implementation in ourselves. When we have that implementation in ourselves, obviously all the field, whether it is social field, whether it is economical field, whether it is science and tech field, we are going to cope up with it. So the development will come, certainly. Why the need has come for the century skill? Simply for the development, for the progress, for the survival. Change is the rule of the nature. We say that change is the only constant thing in the world. The only thing that constant in the world is the change. So we have to adapt, we have to be flexible. Moving forward, defining what is in 21st century skill, it is a broad set of knowledge, skills, work habit, and character traits that are believed to be critically important to success in today's world. We need to have a broad knowledge of regarding everything, about every field, whether it is trade, whether it is economic, whether it is political, whether it is societal, whether it is science and tech. We need to have a broad set of knowledge. We need to have the skills that we are going to discuss further in this session itself. We need to have this work habits. It means that we need to inoculate those skills into ourselves. Only then we are going to have this work habit and ultimately we are going to succeed. And the character traits, the change we need to do in ourselves. All these things are believed to be very critically important in the success of today's world. So what are these 21st century skills? What are these skills that I'm talking about? Is this skill important only for a teacher? No, it is important for the children too. It is important for, in fact, I think it is important for all the humankind present over the earth. So what are these 21st century skills? 21st century skill is being classified into 3L system: learning skill, literacy skill, life skill. 3L system: learning skill, literacy skill, and life skill. Whereby learning skill is further categorized into 4 C's. Literacy skill is further categorized and is sometimes known as IMT. We will look into it. What are these 4 C's? What are these IMT? Life skill is also sometimes known as FLIPS. looking forward to the next learning skill. The first category of the 21st century skill is the learning skill, which in itself include the 4 C's. The first C is critical thinking. The first C is critical thinking. Critical thinking is one of the most important qualities one should have. It is actually the capability of finding solution to any problem. All these 4 C's, these are the mental progress or the mental process that we need, that we require to adapt in the modern environment. All these 4 C's, whether it is your critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, or communication, all these are required to cope up in the modern environment. So critical thinking, point solution, where we find solution to different problems. Next is the creativity. It is the ability to widen the mind and think outside the box. We see the concept in a different line. We see any of the concept in a different line, and thereby we conclude it with a different answer. And creativity also leads to innovation. Creativity leads to innovation. It is a means of adaptation. We can say that creativity is a means of adaptation. We have several activities that we can make students perform in the class itself. We will go through those activities also. There are several activities. So next is the collaboration. Collaboration is said to be the most complex and the most difficult out of all these 4 C's. It is because collaboration requires working with other people, and working with other people, the primary problem appears is that it is the key element in collaboration is required the willingness to accept the thing and the willingness to understand the difference in solving the problem all together. In collaboration, many people will be there. All the people will have a different mindset. These different mindset, that willing to understand the differences of the problem, that willing to understand in a coordination way, that makes the collaboration the most complex process among all the 4 C's. Next is communication. No skill will be advantageous or profitable until and unless we are able to communicate ourselves, until and unless we are able to express ourselves. So communication, having a good communication skill will help in bringing all the qualities all together. Let's look into the activities, the critical thinking activity, what we can make students do in the class itself. The first one is Adla Badli. This has been taken from the handbook of the 21st century skill. PDF is already available over the website, but I found it very interesting. I have added this into my slide. Adla Badli, impromptu debate, which means that we can make a group of students and we will tell them that either you say in favor of NEP, say for example, national education policy, and to the other group, we will assign them the work. You say against the NEP. What are the disadvantages? What are the drawbacks of the NEP? Okay, so they will go home, they will practice over their part, but on the day of event, some twist, we can make some twist. What twist we can do? We can exchange their parts. The group who are preparing in favor of the NEP, we will tell them, now you have 15 minutes or half an hour, you be responsible to speak against the NEP. They have already set in their mind that they have to speak in favor of NEP. But now, Adla Badli, that is impromptu debate. So obviously, it will make them discomfort, it will make them uneasy, but it is going to bring some critical. They are going to think something different out of the box. They are going to think something against whatever things they have already prepared in the mind, whatever things already set in their mind. Next is ask yourself made questions. In this, what we can do, we can teach them a topic or any of the chapter, and we can tell them apart from the exercise. Already questions are given in the exercise. It is already provided there, but we can take them that it's your responsibility to take out some of the extra questions from middle of the chapter. Okay, we have explained in the chapter, but we will tell them you take out some of the extra question. That question should not be copied from any of the sources, and it should not be repeated from the exercise portion. Okay, ask yourself. This also will increase their critical way of thinking. Next, goal mole. asking riddles, you know, paheli type something. This can also, it increases their critical thinking. Then gap fill in. What we are supposed to do that, in this case, we can ask the children, we can give them a blank paper, we will show them a picture and we will ask them, you just write down on the top of the paper what is being shown on the picture. Okay, they will write down. But at the bottom of the paper, we will ask them, write down what you believe is going on the picture. These are two different things. What is shown in the picture and what I think, acha, this is not the way that is shown. I think this is going in this round or in that round. So what is shown in the picture is one thing, and what I believe is this picture is depicting is different thing. The gaps filled in, the gaps left behind on the piece of the paper. I'm going to ask them that, okay, what is being shown in the picture? Now you write down the steps. What made you believe that this picture is not telling this, but something else? This is the gap fill in. Next is Pucho to Samjhe, or the cross questioning. This can be considered as an extended form of ask yourself. How it can be an extended form of ask yourself? Like they have picked some extra questions from middle of the chapter. From that middle of the chapter, that particular student will come in front of the entire class, and that student will say that my question is this. Anybody who can stand and answer me? Any of the student who will stand, he will reply them. He will reply, what made you to make this particular question? Why not you have said like this? Oh, you are wrong in this point. That cross questioning is again going to be a profitable for the student who is asking the question and for the student who is replying. Okay. Next, creativity and innovation. As I already told, creativity leads to innovation. These are the activities like how we can enhance this creativity among the student. So the first creativity, wrong is right. It means that we can say a particular student, I can ask some question and I will give the wrong answer to it. Student will stand and say that, no ma'am, you are wrong. This is not the answer and this is the correct answer. This is wrong is right. I am going to make the wrong answer. I will tell them, no, this is the correct answer. But the student will say, no ma'am, you are not right. So this is also going to increase their creativity, because the moment I give them the wrong answer and the moment that particular student will stand and oppose my answer, during those 2 to 3 minutes, that particular student in his mind or in her mind, this creativity will goes on. Like, from where ma'am has given this wrong answer? No, I think ma'am is wrong. Okay. So open-minded. Open-minded. We speak of the children to speak freely, because some of the students, I personally find, and I think as a teacher, slide is not shifting.
Just you click the mouse button. Okay.
Open-minded. We need students to be free of their thoughts. It is our duty that students speak whatever goes on inside their mind, whether it is positive, whether it is negative. We are responsible for the student to say that, okay, you are free to speak anything. I am there to solve your question. I am there to solve your problems. I am there with you in any of the circumstances. So students should be an open-minded. Image talk. See, image talk is one of the most interesting thing. For example, if an arrow goes inside an heart, we say that this image is talking something about the love. Okay. And if there is some music kind of image is there, we think that something musical meaning is coming out of from this question. Okay. We all use WhatsApp. We all use Facebook. We all use Insta. Okay. So in that WhatsApp, I don't think any of you are here who haven't used emoji ever. You must have used emoji, the smiling faces, all those smiley, the sad, the crying one, the happy one. All these are the expression, image talk. Instead of using some words, we can put down some of the image over there, over the conversation, just to express ourselves. Okay, so image can express a particular line, or 2 sentences, 3 sentences, meaning we can just express by a simple emoji. Next one is curiosity. Curiosity is one of the important thing in which we can bring out among the students. Students has to be curious. If I teach them some particular topic, students should have to be very curious, like why, what. Students should be responsible to ask all the W's present there. Why, how, what, when, where, all this represent that a particular student are curious. They are curious in understanding why this happened, what will happen if this won't work. Next is problem solving. There are several ways in which all this problem can be solved. Some of the students are so creative that they solve this box in a very few seconds. I have met with the students, they have solved this box in a few seconds. We are going to take time in solving this, but the students, they are very creative. They solve it in a few seconds. Next is imagination. Just as I said in the very beginning, like we are sitting in the Bhagalpur, but with the help of this skill, but the help of this 21st technology, we can go to London. We can see the Taj Mahal sitting over here. We can have a 3D view of it. Okay, so imagination. We will let the student go, just flow with the imagination, think whatever comes to your mind. They have to be very, very free. Next, innovation. Innovation, creativity in itself brings innovation. First is the virtual reality. Virtual reality speaks of learning interaction with the 3Ds. Okay, we can take student to the mountain tops. We are in a classroom, but we can take them to the mountain tops. With the help of all this 21st century skill, we can take them to the mountain tops. We can take them to any historical places, and we can input this 3D immersions into their mind. That is the virtual reality. Next one is let them free. We should let them free. Like you think whatever you can go to any extent. You can think whatever you can regarding any of the topic, and teachers are there to help you with whatever problem you encounter on the way of your thoughts. Next is give them a break. After doing all this studies and all, at home parents are forcing, keep on studying. If you will not study, you are not going to fetch a good marks. So students do need a break. In that break, students should do anything of their interest or any kind of hobbies they can go for. This is what, if they keep on doing their hobbies, if we provide them a break, it means that they will be happily and will collaboratively and will innovatively, they will function any of the problem, they can solve any of the problem. So break is must in the life of a student. They have to play, they can do anything of their interest, anything of their hobbies. Next is project-based learning. Project-based learning, we will provide them a topic. They are going to search for the topic. They are going to analyze the topic. They are going to ask the different sources. They are going to look over the different sources. They are going to ask different person. Thereby, they can come across at the end of the project something fruitful. They can come with something good outcome, very greater good they can come after the end of the project. Next is collaboration. As I said, this is the most complex concept because collaboration in itself needs the coordination, and sometimes this coordination fail. But what we can do is that we need to teach them through several activities. Such activities can be save the last word for me. Such activity can be chain game, hands-on project, search to win, drums rats. Save the last word for me. I think every one of you must have played Antarakshari. Antarakshari, everyone must have played. What we do in Antarakshari is that we sing a song, the last alphabet becomes the initial for the next group. That is, save the last word for me. Student among themselves play word game. What they do basically in the word game, the last word becomes the initial for the other word for the other group. That is the collaboration. It requires a collaboration in a group. Everyone, if one particular student will not be able to think from the initial alphabet, other student will definitely think the other, its peer member. Next, hands-on project. For the hands-on the project, the CBSE has provided several different things, especially the experiential learning. The experiential learning, hands-on the project, they are going to be provided. Again, the analyze work is going to be happen. Again, the research work is going to happen. Again, at last, they are going to come up with some of the fruitful result. Next, chain game. The normal, for example, if I keep on teaching them the photosynthesis, the chain game, the sequence is going on. I'm telling the process what all things are included in them. But a student stands and break the chain, and from that topic itself, it goes to some other route. That is, they just break the chain and make different sequence. They just collaborate different things. They just blend the learning in a different things and come up with a fruitful result. Then search to win. Search to win is one of the interesting that a student can perform in the class. Search to win can be said that in a group of a particular teacher, like in my class, I can distribute the class into 4 to 5 groups, and I will just give them something like I have hidden some hanky somewhere in the class, and they are going to search where it is kept. So this also requires a great collaboration. The group who will find that hanky first, they will definitely win. This requires a teamwork. Next is drum siraj. Drum siraj also, I think all of us must have played in our school days. Drum siraj is actually, we can make a 4 to 5 groups in our class, and from each group we can call one student as a leader who would like to be the initiative person of it. From that to that particular person, we are going to provide them a particular topic. For example, I give them a topic of acting like a Shivaji. So that student will stand in front of rest of the entire class, and with the help of some expression, without telling anything, with the help of some expression or with the help of any key element, he can use the table, chair, chalk, duster, anything, marker, and without telling anything, he has to give them the clue with a certain clue that I want to speak something about the Shivaji. Okay, this is what Drum Siraj all about. Next is communication. For a better communication, we need to have 3 things. We need to have idea, we need to have a channel, we need to have receiver or the recipient. For example, I am the sender, I have an idea, I'm speaking over the 21st century skill. Channel is this online method, channel is this offline method, and you are the receiver, you are the recipient. So the channel goes on like this. Sender, I'm sending my ideas, I am describing what all things I know about the 21st century skill. Channel is carrying the messages, it is carrying my messages, and it is reaching up to you. A good communication is required to express oneself. If I'm not able to make you understand my topic, it means that I'm not that a good communicator. So communication skill is another important thing, another important component of the 21st century skill. So I would like to highlight on this the 7 essential elements of the communication skill. First is the listening. To make strong the communication, we have to be a good listener first. We have to have a strong observational skill to fully understand the message being conveyed. Okay, we have to be a very good listener. I have to be a very good orator. You have to be a very good listener. Only then a balance of the communication will be placed. Next is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication without using a single word. I can put the body language like the posture, gesture, eye movement. With the help of these eye movement, I can still speak to you, because there are people who are not able to speak, but we understand them. How we understand them? With the help of this non-verbal communication. Their eye movement, their body language, their posture, they make some movements of their hand, we understand them anyhow. Next is being clear. If I'm not clear of my thoughts, it means that I'm not able to communicate in an easy way. Okay, if I'm not clear with my words, you won't be understanding me. If I start speaking in a French language over here, if I start speaking Spanish, a bad communication. Next is being conscious. I have to be very, very conscious while using a very fewer word. I have to be very choosy regarding the words that I use. I have to be very, very selective to share my message, to share my thoughts with all the senders, with all the receiver, with all the recipient. Next is being confident. This is one of the important element a good communication skill should have. If we have a good communication skill, it means that we should be very, very confident. And this confidence is lacking in today's world. I see some of my friend also, they have all these skills. We know that one of the interesting thing is that we have all this skill, all the 21st century skill that is required, or I'm talking about, or we are reading just now. We have these skills inside ourselves, but what we need is that we are not confident enough to express ourselves. We are not confident enough to bring innovation idea. We are not confident enough to bring some creativity out of ourselves. So being confident is very, very important. If I would not be a confident person, I don't think that I would be able to stand over here and speak in front of you. There are children, my friends are also there, who has some kind of fear, like, no, I cannot speak over the stage. I'm having a stage fear. Initially, I was also having a stage fear, but slowly, I adopted all these things. I made myself flexible, and I am trying to go through these 21st century skills. So we have to be very, very confident. We have to be being personable. A friendly tone and a simple smile can go a long way. If I stand here in a very strict way like this and keep on speaking without having a smile face on myself, just simply straightforward, I will be a very bad communicator. You will feel sleepy, you will feel yawning and all. So a smile and a very soft tone can go a long way. Being patient, being composed and not rushing when conveying your message. If I can complete this 21st century skill in a 15 minutes, in a half an hour, but 1 hour is enough. So I have to be patient and I have to go with pace. Like, okay, I have 1 hour and I can go in a normal way, in an easy way, without rushing into completing that. I have to complete it anyhow, and then I'll finish it up and then my work will be done. No, that is again a bad communicator. Communication activities that can be done in classroom is that guide for the blindfold. What we can do in this is that we can take two students. One of the students, we can cover their eyes with a black cloth, and that student will stand at the one corner. The other student, or say the partner of that student, will become eye to that particular student. The student whose eyes are not covered, whose eyes is not covered, he or she will guide the blindfolded student, like, come to the left, come 2 steps forward, and then you are going to reach a particular destination. This can be a guide for the blindfold to student, and it also needs a great communication. If I will be a bad communicator, I can bring a great destruction to the blindfolded student. Next is feelings are important. We must need to have feelings of other. We must understand. We must be sympathy. We must show empathy to the student also, because mainly the students are not able to express themselves. There are some students who will sit at the corner of the last bench and will not be able to speak out of their thoughts and will not be able to express. If I am going to ask them some particular question, that student will say that, no, ma'am, I don't know. Even if that student will be knowing the answer, that student will say that, no, I will not know. I will not say, or I cannot say, I cannot stand. It means that we have to understand what all things is going on in his life. So feelings are important. We need to have all the students matter. We need to understand the feelings of all the students. Next is silence talk day. Out of 1 week, we can have one day, like no student are supposed to say anything. Whatever you want to convey your message, you can use some sign, you can use some symbol, you can use some expression, some gesture, some body language you can use, but you do not have to open your mouth. You do not have to say a single word. Next is talk in pairs. Talk in pairs, basically understand that teacher will ask children to make pairs, and pairs should be such that 2 children do not know anything about itself. So one from the north and one from the south, like this pairing can be done, and we will give them 1 day, like, okay, you can come and know each other. Whatever things you want to know, you can understand about each other. Whatever things, what is your hobby? What is your likes? What is your dislikes? So talk in pairs. And the next day we can ask them what all things you know about that particular student, because that student belongs to the south zone and you belong to the north zone. So talk in pairs. Next is literacy skill. Literacy skill, it is actually a determined factual information to avoid misinformation. See, now in the 21st century skill, we have got a plethora of information. Okay, when we start searching for a particular topic, many websites come over in front of our eyes. Okay, and when we when we start entering into a Google, we just get lost somewhere, and we have to reach at one point, we get deviated and go to some other way. Okay, so literacy skill is also another 21st century skill in which we can make student aware that no, you have to go in a right direction. Literacy skill, sometimes also known as IMT, information skill, media skill, and a technology skill. Information skill is a foundational skill that can help in understanding online data, online facts, and statistics. Media skill, a skill to identify and distinguish relevant topic and to separate and to exclude all the irrelevant topic, because sometimes when we start searching for a particular topic, we find many things irrelevant to it. So we have to be very selective. We have to have this skill in ourselves that, okay, I can separate what is for my importance and what is not of my use. Next is technology literacy. Technology literacy, it is having the information of the latest technology, innovations that are best suited for education. Best suited for education. This is what we are doing. All these online classes going on, all the sudden changes that happen to everyone. This is the technology friendly. We have become tech savvy now. I think everyone can now easily operate these online classes. Next is the road to digital literacy. This is what we have to do in our life. We have to adapt. We have to go through this road. First is the digital citizenship. We need to use the technology and internet responsibly and safely. Next is the technology literacy. Use online tools and applications to collaborate, share, create, inform, and enrich. We have this technology, we can make best out of it. Information literacy. We can locate information from a variety of sources, including print and digital media. Evaluate information for accuracy and credibility. Use information to understand, explain, persuade, and create. See, today's students are exposed to all over the world. For a particular topic, if we are required to search something from the Google, student will be more efficient in finding out something. They are going to find something more innovatively from the Google. We will feel sleepy like, oh, just take out search one website, write down from that, copy it from that. But the student, they are going to use YouTube, they are going to use different social media, they are going to use different website to conclude one single topic. So we cannot fool the present day students. What student does is that if they come across any of the problem regarding any of the chapter, they just Google it. Okay, they just Google it. Before asking you, they will first go to the Google and ask the question. Even after that, if the student gets satisfied with the Google, still they will come to you and ask you to check that, Acha, you have given the same answer what Google has told. And if the student are dissatisfied with the Google, then definitely he or she will come to you. So if the students are becoming smart, it is our responsibility also, we also become smart. Otherwise, they will just rule us only. Next is how we can improve or how we can inoculate the literacy skill among the students. Know how. We can tell the students that I am going to give you this topic. You are going to find, you are going to analyze, you are going to do the research work over a particular topic, and we are going to give them a proper guideline. Like these are the various sources. You just go through that sources and find out the answers and come to me to the next day. This is our know-how. I have given you a topic where all the locations I have provided you. It is your responsibility now to understand and to know and to find the correct answer. Next is designing a blog, website, PPT. In today's 21st century skill, I think everybody knows that it is very important to understand the basic concept of a computer, the basic concept of anything related to any Microsoft. Like student must know how to make a blog, student must know how to create, how to design a website, student must know how to make a PPT, how to make MS Word, how to use Excel and all. Next is designing an app. Designing an app, student will be asked to identify a problem. Student will be asked to identify a problem. That problem can be societal problem, that can be political problem, that can be economical problem, that can be historical problem. And with the help of this ICT, student can develop an app as a solution to that problem. This app can be designed by a student as a solution to the problem. Problem students already identified in the different fields. Next is teach, learn, and copy. We all know that even as a teacher also, if we come across any of the problem, we also just go to the Google. Student also go to the Google. And I think there is nothing wrong in copying anything from the Google if the data is relevant, if the data is correct. There is nothing wrong in doing that. Okay, so we can teach them, we can make them learn, and there is nothing wrong if one of the student or other student copy them. So teach, learn, and copy. Next is the life skill. Life skill is one of the most important as a personal as well as a professional being. This life skill, these are the elements that can be used both. It can be used for our personal advantage also, it can be used for our professional advantage also. Life skill is sometimes also known as flips. Flips, the first F stands for flexibility and adaptability. Flexibility means we are ready, we are willing to change because life won't stay the same. Change is the only constant. I'm repeating this again. Change is the only constant thing in the world. We need to have that willingness in ourselves that change is going on around in our environment. It won't be the same time, won't come again. We have to have that willing in ourselves that according with the circumstances, according with the condition, we will have to change. Adaptability is about the powerful difference between adapting to cope and adapting to win. We have to adapt. See, let me give you one example. Evolution happens all the time. Okay, it takes several years. It takes several years for evolution to occur. And let me give you an example. I think you must be knowing about it, but a simple example. The giraffe that we know today in present day in the modern environment, the giraffe is known by its long neck. Okay, giraffe is known by its long neck. But in the earlier days, giraffe was having a very short neck. Okay, giraffe was having a short neck. The tree, the plants it used to eat was also having a short height. But as the evolution occurred, as the changes occurred, the height of the tree went up, but the giraffe neck was that. The giraffe which was able to stretch its neck, the giraffe which was able to stretch its neck, that got flexible, that got adaptability, that decided, no, I have to survive anyhow with the changing environment. What was the change in the environment? Increase in the height of the tree. For the survival, for having the food, giraffe elongated its neck. The giraffe which was having that willingness to change according to the time, according to the situation, according to the circumstances, that giraffe survived. And because of that evolution, the giraffe we know today is having a long neck. There were some giraffe who did not got ready to bring this change in its neck, died. So this was just a simple example. So how we can bring this flexibility? How we can bring this flexibility? We can tell the students to know different things. We can tell the students to understand the different household items. What will happen by using the different household items? Particular student will be willing to understand that the uses, the importance of different utensils present at the home, thereby making it flexible, thereby making it adaptable. No, you are not made only to learn. You are not made only to study and to have a degree and to have a job. You should know about the different things around you yourself. You should know about what all things are required in a home. Next is make up a new game. we can make any new game, or we can say that any of the old game, we can bring different rules. We can make a different rules and add to the previous game. So a new game, a new rule. Student is going to feel uneasy. Student is going to feel discomfort, like, oh, from where this new rule has come. But again, it is going to be for their own good. They are going to be flexible. They are going to be adaptable. They have to do it anyway. These are the different ways we can make student flexible or adaptable to their environment. Next is the shuffle game. This shuffle game also increases, it also makes the student more flexible. It also makes the student more flexible to their environment. Just by making them sit anywhere with any unknown student, not knowing anything about it, anything, any shuffling, random shuffling can bring them flexible. Initially, they are going to face some of the problem, but later on, they will adapt to that shuffling issue. Next is the surprise game. Next is the surprise game. We can bring or we can make one leisure period in a week, and we can bring some new activities for the student. We will not inform them about that activity. We will go to the class, and we itself is going to bring that activity on spot, acting as a surprise to the student. So that will be a surprise to the student, and students are going to enjoy that. You bring different activities, the students are going. In fact, if you don't teach them and keep on make them doing activity, they are going to study in a more fruitful way. Next is the leadership quality. See, the leadership quality is also another important thing. Leadership quality is actually setting a goal for a team and achieving it collaboratively. Leadership quality also is interlinked with the collaboration that was spoken in the previous skill. So leadership or quality is responsible. A good leader should be responsible for their teamwork. A good leader should be responsible for achieving or completing their aim on time in a coordinated way among their peer members. What are the different leadership quality? What are the different activities that we can perform in our class for a student to be a good leader? Because all the students matter. Everyone matters. Because there will be a shy student. It is our responsibility that particular student also come over the stage and speak something for a minute, for 2 minutes, but they have to speak. Next is leaders that we admire. A good leader is the one that we admire. We need to learn something from that good leader. That good leader is good at speaking. Okay, I need to learn something from him. That good leader is best at taking initiative. Okay, I am also ready to take the initiative in my life regarding any field. Next is quiz to lead. We are going to make a group in a class, 4 to 5 students group in a class, and we will bring one student who is going to take initiative or who is going to represent their group, and we will tell them, okay, you asked from the other group members different quiz. It is also going to increase the leadership quality among the students. Next is the teamwork is better. This is no doubt everybody knows that two head is better than one. And if we increase the number of the head, work will be done more efficiently. And the outcomes of the work is going to be very, very successful. So teamwork is better than working on a particular thing alone. Next is the number game. We must have played bingo in our lifetime. Okay, this is a number game. This also includes a good collaborative. This also requires a good leadership quality, because leadership quality in itself required a great collaboration among its team member. Next is responsibility activities. A good leadership is responsible for whatever work is done by its team. Making own classroom rules. A good leader can make its own classroom rule at the initial days of the new session. Helping hands can come over it, because it is going to be a teamwork. Different helping hands can come to help break the chain. A good leader is the one who is not going to copy or make some different rules for their respective classes, different from the other section, different from the other classes. Wanted a responsible leader. We can have a we can have some of the qualities in our class, that who is more responsible for keeping the class neat and clean. So we are going to put down the terms and condition over a paper, and we will go roam here and there telling that we want a particular student who are more responsible, who can take the initiative, who are more responsible for keeping the class clean, or who are more responsible for maintaining the discipline of the class. Next is initiative and self-direction. A good leader, leadership qualities also is good at taking initiative, is good at taking initial of anything, and is self-motivated. A good leader is a self-motivated. We get inspiration from the other, but self-motivation is the great motivation, I think. This is my personal view, by the way. Managing goals and time. A good leader can manage easily the time as well as the goals. No matter whatever circumstances is facing through, no matter whatever problem is going through, he is good at managing time. He is good at managing its goal. If I have set a goal, I am going to definitely achieve it, no matter whatever problems I encounter on my way to achieve that goal. A good leadership quality shows that I'm going to cut my sleep hour. I'm going to do all the things that is required for my professional life. But at the end of the time, I am going to achieve my goal no matter what. Next is work independently. A good leader works independently. A good leader do not depend upon, okay, I have to do a particular set of work. That particular person will come and then he is going to do that work. No. If I'm a good leader, I won't wait for that person to come. I will take the initiative and I'm going to start that work doing on my own. Okay, if that person will come, very good, fair enough. But if not, I alone enough to do that work efficiently. Be self-directional learners. As I said, self-motivator. I'm going to direct myself, because we all know that what is wrong, what is right. We should not waste our time. We should study hard. We should not do good. We should not do anything bad deeds. Everybody knows it. But how much we manage doing that? I am responsible to direct myself, that how I am able to make certain things happen, how I am able to make certain goals possible, how I can make certain goals achieve quicker. Initiative activities includes bunch of activities. Teacher can stand and start a topic over a certain can take initiative over a certain topic, followed by the students. Goal and role. We can have a goal in our class. Students can have a goal in a class, like it's my responsibility that within a month I'm going to decorate the entire bulletin board. Role, students is going to perform. Everyone matters. As I said, even the last backbenchers, even that size students also matters. They are also important element of the class. We can make good use of that student also. We can provoke their qualities. We can provoke their creativity. We can provoke their flexibility, that yes, you can also do, not only the first bencher, not only the monitors of the class, but the last bencher also, the shy one also can do something good to the classroom. Next, self-direction activities. Self-advocacy. A good leadership quality is also self-advocacy. We need to let them be. We do not have to pressurize them for doing any set of work. Design thinking. It is our responsibility to make their thinking possible. It is our responsibility to design their way of thinking to a certain activity. Connections to expert. It becomes again our responsibility that we will tell the students of our classroom that you can contact to a particular expert for certain work to be done. Next is productivity and accountability. Productivity is actually the prioritizing, planning, and applying knowledge and skills to make decisions to enhance quality of work in an ever-changing environment. We know that the environment keeps on changing. Productivity is actually, we have to prioritize. If I have set a goal, I have lots of things to do in an entire day. Our priority will be that, okay, I have that goal, that particular goal in my mind, and I have to achieve it anyway. Let me do the rest of the work, but I'm going to prioritize my goal at first. I will do your work, no doubt. I will give you your work done on time, but at the end of the day, I will give importance to my own goal. Accountability is demonstrating personal integrity through appropriate resource and effective time management. It is demonstrating personal integrity through appropriate resource. We need to have a proper resource and effective time management. Time management is another important thing. Productivity activities. We can read and we can keep on reading in the class. How we can say student that, okay, bring a certain book from the library, bring any of the book from the library of your choice, and it will be our target to complete this book in 1 week. So all the students will start reading. In fact, the teacher along with them will also start reading. So reading will go hand in hand. Ask and listen from that, because that book is new to everyone. Okay, that book is new even to the teacher also. So that topic is read first time by the student and by the teacher, hand in hand together simultaneously. Student can ask certain question, student will answer. Teacher will ask a certain question, the other one will answer. Research project. We can increase the productivity activities by some research project. We can give them some project, or we can say them some certain topic, like you go and do the research work, everything, whatever thing you can collect about that topic, just collect and come. Next is praise for more. If any student does something extraordinary in the class, if any student does something exceptional in the class, it becomes our responsibility to praise them, because it is what we can give them. We can, as an inner reward, we can only praise them. Okay, so inner reward, if we praise them, that student become more confident, or that student become more keen to work in their future. Next is accountability activities, student accountability project. Monitors and in charges. These monitors can become responsible, become accountable for whatever things going on in their classroom. Ownership of the learning process. Whatever learning process is going on, whatever learning process they are encountering, it becomes their ownership, it becomes their responsibility that, yeah, this work has been done by me. Do as you say. If I say that I have to this work, it means that I have to do it, no matter what. Social skills kids need. These social skills are actually the networking with others for mutual benefit. This social skills is required for our day-to-day life also. For the mutual benefit, adequate manner, politeness, still it plays an important role in today's social life. It plays an important role with the today's social life, no matter how good I am speaking at, no matter how good I am in studying. But if I am not socially involved with other people, it means that I lack in something. I lag behind in some other things. Man is a social animal. We say that man is a social animal. So without social, if I remain isolated from the rest of the world, if I remain in one corner of the world thinking that, no, I am not going to that party, I'm not going to enjoy anything, I will just focus on my goal, I will keep on studying so hard, I am not going to be involved in anything, it means that I am cutting myself from the social world. That is again a demerit. So there are different ways kids need, because there are some kids who keeps on sitting at one corner in the classroom. They just cut down themselves from the rest of the entire classes. The rest of the classes are playing in the ground, but that student will sit in one corner. No, ma'am, I have to study. I have to get first in my class. That is also a wrong thing. So there are various means, like following directions, using self-control, showing empathy, having positive attitude, disagreeing respectful. There are several ways in which social skill kids need to have among themselves. And these skills not only kids require, but we also require as a parent, as a teacher, as a guardian, we also require, because sometimes it happens in ourselves also that, no, I'm not going to talk to anyone because I'm in an angry mood. Again, a demerit of the social skills. We have to be very polite. We have to have a positive mindset. Next is the activities for the social skill. Circle time. We can have a good circle time. We can make a circle. All the students can sit, and from the first student who will start speaking something positive about the next student, that next student will speak something positive about the very next student, and it will go on and all around the circle. And we are going to find, if we provide them some context, like say something about the creativity of the student sitting next to you, say something about the ideology that particular student have sitting next to you. We are going to find a very different innovative idea. We are going to find different idea one student says to other. That is the circle time. Next is relay culture. What we can do in the relay culture is that we can make a set of group. We can provide them with certain topic, like you select art and culture, the other student will select something historical, and in a group you go or you run. We know about the relay race. Okay, we can pass on some of the informative ideas from one group to the another group. Relay culture. This is also a social skill. This also brings about the different communities, group of children all together under one umbrella. Next is face it. This is something funny that I found and I purposely kept into it, because this can be used especially for the smaller kids student, because the smaller student are good at making faces or copying the expression of the elder people. They are a good copyright. They just do fantastically. They copy everything. What is going on in the TV, what is going on in the movie. One dance step, they can copy within 1 second. So this can be very advantageous for the small kids. Feeling and emotions. Again, there are different feelings and emotions we can have. We have to be empathy to different people. We have to sympathize different people. All these emotions, all these memory cards can also increase the social skill life. Last but not the least, concluding my topic, the 21st century skill are the skills which are required by an individual for his or her holistic development. So he or she can contribute to the progress and development of a society or nation and world. In fact, our national education policy also speaks of the holistic development. This 21st century skills, whatever skills are involved in it, it will not only develop one part of an individual, but it is going to bring a holistic development in an individual. If I attain all these 21st century skill, it means that I'm going to be a very, very healthy, I'm going to spend a very healthy life in my future. 21st century skill refers to the skill that are required to enable an individual to face the challenges of the 21st century. No matter what different challenges we are facing, the current challenge that we are facing is the COVID time that we are going through. This is also one of the important challenges that we are going through. But we are coping, we are adapting, we have become flexible. We have become flexible to anything. We have become tech savvy. How we have become tech savvy? Earlier, we used to say that, no, I'm not going to work over it. But now we have to do it. We have learned it anyhow. Next, globally, 21st century skill, what are the different challenges? We have to be globally active. We have to be digitally transforming, collaborative, moving forward. Everything is moving forward. Nothing is lagging behind. Creatively progressing, seeking competence, human resource, and quick in adopting changes. The sooner we adopt ourselves in the 21st century skill, the greater achievement we are going to attain in our life. With this note, I end up my meeting. Thank you.
Once again, many thanks to Ms. Kriti Singh for her better presentation. We have learned many more things about the 21st century skills, and we will adopt such skills in our schools. Thank you. The next session will start at 2 p.m. So this is the time for having some recreation. Thank you and have a nice day.